Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. I have another layout for Scraptember, and today's prompt was to create a diagonal design. And let's see, I'm also playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem, and we are using this layout as our inspiration. So, hopefully, you can see that where I got some of my inspiration, that instead of the stitching, um, that I did some stenciling instead. So here you see me using just a 9 by or 8.5 by 11 piece of white cardstock, and I'm just using my hand to add some clear gesso on it, and I set it up above there, above my mat to dry in front of my fan. And so now I'm using the Tim Holtz black texture paste through an Echo Park stencil that it looks like tire tracks. And so this is what I'm going to use to map my photo. So I have my magnet in the middle there, and know that I don't need to have my texture paste there, so that was a good place to put it, so I could hold down my piece of paper and get my texture paste put through this stencil. And so this layout kind of goes through a journey, and yeah, we'll talk about that as we get to each place. So here is my mat. So now that has dried, and so what I am documenting is a picture of my husband with his new car that he got last year in May of 2024. And so this is going to be a 9 by 11-ish sized layout. And so the piece of paper that I actually used to put my stenciling on was the back of some packaging that I used several days ago on my the 2000 Subby Celebration Hop for Christine Harden, and so that was the only full-size paper that I had left was the packaging. So there you can see the backside of it showing each piece of paper that you would get within the collection, and it was like a really good 49 a market type of 6x6 piece of paper. So I thought that was a good thing, and it just worked perfectly with the size of my stencil with just a little bit of white around the edge. So once I had the stenciling on, I did cut it down slightly. Then within my scraps, I had another 6x6 piece of paper that was black. It had those frames on it, so I used that to frame the outside because I originally thought I was going to put this layout on this white piece of paper. And so I used the Tim Holtz translucent paste. I used the same stencil and put it in the upper left corner and the lower right corner. Let it dry. And then I was going to use this silver Lindy's Magical Powders. And so this is an older container before they came out with the sprinkle ones. And so here I am trying my mixed media technique just to see, what I thought of this. And so right away I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know. The Lindy's, always has extra colors within their powders, and so that pink kind of threw me off that came out in the powders. But here I am again, so then I thought, well, I'll tone it down a little bit with rolling my paper towels over the top. Well, that took off too much of the color, so here I am deciding to put it back. I'm like, well, let's give it a try. Let's let it dry. Let's see what it looks like. Again, I'm like, oh, I don't like that either. So I pull out this old Maya Road black mist that I had and give that a try. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I at least like how the texture is coming out a little bit better. But ultimately, I was just like, no, I hate this. It just looks dirty, and I didn't want it to be dirty. So then I was trying to see if I could get this old Heidi Swapp silver to spray. That thought maybe, well, I'll try um, using the silver spray in there to see how that works. Didn't care for that, so I used my paper towel to wipe it back up, because that is the beauty of using gesso. Okay, so here's my second attempt. I'm like, no, nope, I'm just gonna go back to um, the black piece of paper, because originally I was going to matte the white piece with some black. And so now I'm back to this piece of paper. So I put the translucent texture paste through the stencil again. And this time I'm just going to let it dry and leave it, that it will take on the color of the paper. So while it looks white now, when it dries, it will be essentially clear. So it will look like shiny black on my black cardstock. So now I am working on my embellishments and my title here. I have this really old graphic 45, nope, not graphic 45, basic gray. This label here, and it was clear, so I did go ahead and use a scrap piece of white paper and put that on the back, and I'm going to put my title, new car, on there. I dug through some of my stash, found this stop sign from Cody's birthday party decorations, that he had a construction theme. And so that gave me just a little bit of pop color that ultimately the layout I think needed in the end. And instead of putting my title wonky, I did decide to go ahead and straighten it up. And so that's basically how the middle part is going to be. So now you can see that my background is mostly dry, that there's a few little sections that are still a little bit of milky white, but those will dry completely. So I have my matted photo section there, and I also found this chipboard piece that's got like a highway sign on it. Um, we obviously don't have a Highway 70 around here, and I believe is that Mississippi or Alabama? It's one of those southern states, and so, but I thought it worked with you know, documenting a car, and it gets it out of my stash and onto a layout. So I also found this other stop sign, so I put that there with this loopy chipboard piece. And then here I'm trying to figure out, I know to try and get that visual triangle, that I'm trying to get something red up in that upper section there, and I'm not liking what I'm coming up with. So ultimately I do go ahead and pause the video, and I go searching in my red color drawer and come up with a partial piece of a red Viewmaster reel here. So that goes up at the top there with that same captured piece. And once I get all those pieces on, I basically come in with that silver Heidi Swapp color shine, do some drops, and that pretty much wraps things up for the entire layout here. So the other thing that I do come in and do is I write the date on the diagonal here. Just put May 2024. That was when he got his new car. Show you the close-ups here before I add the when I'm showing you the piece of that goes in the garbage, because it was warped, and yeah, it's just a piece of paper. So anyway, this is pretty much going to wrap things up. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. Again, I am playing along with Scraptember as well as Mixed Media Mayhem, and there are playlists down below of everybody playing along, and so go check them out. Here are the close-up shots. You can find my links to my Instagram as well as Pinterest accounts, where you can find additional close-up shots there. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.